Welcome to the Sports Business Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Tichenel. Sports Business Leaders is a community and event series for innovators, founders, athletes, and entrepreneurs in sports to connect, share ideas, and explore potential collaborations. On our podcast, we feature special guests within our community who are doing some great things, and today's episode, we're really excited to feature Stephen Say.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's great.
Yeah. So, Stephen, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you ultimately got involved with Next Pick and obviously your involvement in tennis?
Yeah, so I'm originally from France, born and raised in the south of France. Got recruited to play college tennis. I played D1 at Northern Arizona. Then I transferred to a much smaller school in the Philadelphia area, in D2. I was able to play against all sort of levels. I played against junior colleges. I played against Ivy Leagues type of schools. So I was able to really see the entire spectrum of what college sport was about. My co-founder Romain is also from France, and he won the second division with his school Barry University. And he was, much better than I was, and he was able to play against great schools as well. So we saw the problems in college recruiting already at the time, playing against all those different schools. We saw kids that were committed to the wrong schools for the wrong reasons. We saw also kids that did not play college tennis because they had the college process recruiting done wrong. After I graduated, I remember playing tennis with this kid from Philadelphia, and it was pretty good, but my level. And asking him like, okay, well, why did you play in college? And he told me like, oh, I didn't play college. I was just not good enough. I didn't get interest from coaches. And I was like, wow, that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, I played against kids that were pretty low level, also very high level, but there's definitely a spot for anyone in college tennis. And that's when I realized that, yeah, there's definitely a big problem in college recruiting. It's kind of the Wild West too. It seems like no one understands how to do the process. Coaches too are struggling in their own way to get the right kids in their schools. Parents are struggling to get their kids recruited by the right school. We decided to dig deeper into this industry in 2023 with my co-founder. And we restarted by calling all the coaches that we knew from back in the days when we played college tennis, and our friends to our teammates that now became college coaches, and asked them like, how do you do recruiting? Trying to figure out what was wrong with this industry and try to fix it. So we kind of set a goal to talk to 50 coaches, and we stopped at like maybe 20 because we kept getting the same answer over and over and over and over again. Basically, everyone was telling us like, look, I'm not getting paid great money. I have 100 things to handle. This is kind of a part-time job for me. So the way I recruit is really like I get on the phone with an agent I know, and I tell them like, look, here's my situation for next year. I'm losing 2 seniors. I need two kids that can fit in my team. I'm looking for this type of profile, academically, financial, and do you have anything for me? And they will tell me like, I don't want to waste any time with parents or kids that just have no idea what they're doing. So we realized that agents in this industry were playing a pretty big role. So this is how we started NextPick. And again, at first we really didn't know what the product was going to be. We're just trying to understand the pain points and how we can help people. And so that first realization that agents were very instrumental in this recruiting process. We contacted all the agents we knew and asked them, how do you do your recruiting? How can we help you? And it seemed like the turnover is so high in college for college coaches that it was hard for agents to basically connect with the right coach at the right time, and for coaches to connect with agents with the right agent at the right time and finding the right fit, for the kids. So what we did is build this platform where agents were able to list their clients, and coaches on the side could see the clients, of course, and also list their roster openings. So they could both see what could be a fit at any given time, and they can connect directly on our platform and chat with each other. So this platform is just for professionals between college coaches and recruiting agents.
Yeah, that's really cool, Steven. And there's a lot of great things to unpack there. And number one, I also played at a small college. I played football, Gettysburg College, and I saw on your LinkedIn your Chestnut Hill College. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely can relate there. And it's cool to hear that you started your startup based on your own experience. So, and I think you did it the right way by validating the problem with people in the market. And that's also how I started my sports tech product. So, Jake, can you talk a little bit more about how the acquisition strategy is? I know you had a question there.
Yeah, one of the things that thanks for the backstory, Stephen. I mean, it's really cool to hear some more insights, even though we get a couple minutes to talk at events, so we've had some calls. But one of the ways that I knew you were on the right track in building this double-sided marketplace, which lots of products out there, whether it be Facebook, Airbnb, Uber, that's what they are. There's somebody with a need, and then somebody with a different type of need, and you're making that connection point, right? And that's what Next Pick was doing between helping tennis athletes find the right either opportunities or coaching like a roster spot that you called it. And when you said we were working with 500 coaches in the first year from like Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Oregon, I was like, holy crap, these guys are onto something. So I'm curious if you could tell the SPL community, like, what was the strategy? I know you kind of had to get the players first a little bit, and then the coaches will come. But in terms of getting 500 coaches in the first year from all these great schools, like, what strategy did you guys start with? What did you learn? What was working? Like, whatever insights you can provide there, I think would be brilliant.
Yeah. Um, I think at this point you really have to hustle to get the first people on your platform. It's kind of the chicken and egg problem, of course. And even though the platform was free at first and we were just providing value, and and you think like, oh, it's gonna be great, everyone's gonna join right away. There's definitely this hurdle for people that don't know you, even to spend a little bit of time like looking into it. So getting the first coach on the platform was a pain. And we also like getting the first agent on the platform were a pain. So getting recruited, I used an agent from France. Was very happy with him. My co-founder used the same agent, and we basically begged him to get on the platform and list his players. And even him like was like, I don't know if I want to do that. It was tough. But we did get finally one coach on the platform. I remember it was Upper Iowa University, which I'd never heard of. And we told him, then we told our agent, like, hey, look, we got one coach on our platform. List your players. And he logged onto the platform and was like, I've been doing that work for 15 years and I never heard of that school before. So here you go, like you've got one user on each side, and already we're providing value because that agent never heard that school or that coach. That coach had never heard of that agent, and right away, like there was potential for some of his clients to get recruited by that school. So right away, we thought we were on the right track, and we continued to try to get more coaches. The way we did it, it was pretty easy. We'll look at the players that agent had listed, and we'll try to find some coaches that could uh, find a fit in those athletes. So we'll send the profile of the athletes to the coach by whatever mean we could find. It could be Instagram Messenger, email, whatever, and then the coach will have to sign up to see the player. And as soon as we find them players that are qualified, that approximately the same level as their team and have the money and have the academics for it, then of course they want to look at that prospect. And knowing that this prospect is attached to an agent too is very helpful. They know they're not going to be dealing with someone that's going to lie about the tennis level or lie about their motivation of getting recruited by that school. They know they're talking with a professional that have been doing that for a long time, and also there's some trust to keep in this industry. So yeah, we send the players to the coaches, and we got more coaches on the platform this way. And then we started reaching out to more agents and saying like, hey, we've got those schools on the platform. If you want them to see your players, list your players, and it's kind of a snowball effect. Like the first, I'll say 100 users on each side. On each side, 100 user total were really hard to get, and then from there, like it kind of like people were joining the platform we didn't never talk to. So we knew something was working. And now, I mean, I didn't really talk about the monetization part of our business yet. We're trying to figure that out. Like, how do we make money on this thing that people are using? We realized that a lot of coaches were like joining the platform and getting value from like this platform, but we didn't know if that was going to be if this market was going to be big enough. So we're trying to understand where the money was flowing in this market. And let's leave out the top 2% NIL kids and stuff like that. That's like a tiny portion of the entire college athletic. So the 99% of other athletes, the money was flowing from the parents to college counselors or agents. And so we knew that we have all those agents on our platform. We knew who was doing a good job because they were listing their players, getting their players recruited. So we saw which one were the best agents, and we started getting inbounds from parents hearing about our platform from friends or college coaches, and they were like, "How do I get listed on your platform? How do I get recruited?" And we're like, "Look, this process is very opaque and complicated, and then obviously you don't know anything about how it works. And our platform is for professionals only. So what I can do for you is give you the contact of great agents that use our platform. And now we know over 150 agents who use our platform, and I know exactly the perfect agent for you." And so this is kind of how we make money now. We match families with their best fit recruiting agents. We help in the contract and the payments, and then the agents, as a new client, they use our platform to do their work of agents. And the parents is peace of mind for them that they are being helped by someone who is vetted and who has a proven track record. So far, we've only been vetting top 5% of agents. And yeah, so this is how we make money now. And really, this platform has helped us like gain credibility in this industry. I mean, there's about 1,100, 1,200 schools with tennis, and having 500 of them like using our platform is big portion of it. It's so it's great. And we've also been piloting other sports. We've been piloting basketball. We had basketball athletes, and what we found is that the problems are the same in every sport. And we try to go like as far as we can from tennis, which is an individual sport and not much money in it. And doing that basketball recruit, really, we learned a lot doing that because we're thinking, okay, how different can this be? And we ended up being the same pain points. And now we match her with an agent, and she's very happy with it. She's probably going to get a financial package that is worth over $200,000 to account for scholarship and the cost of attendance and maybe some NIL money at the end. So yeah, recruiting an agent that she knows is going to do a good job is a big value for her and her parents, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thanks for sharing all that, Stephen. And just for the audience that are not a part of or not a founder themselves, finding that initial value right away is so tough to do. And, it's just a testament to the problem that you guys are solving and the value that you guys are providing that you were able to do that right off the bat. So that's amazing. And you alluded to this earlier, Stephen, talking about the chicken or the egg problem. And I want to talk about that as it relates to fundraising and then just focusing more so on growth. So a lot of founders, as they're first getting started, they think that they need to rush right into fundraising and just raise as much money as possible and then focus on growth. And I think from what it sounds like you've focused the other way. You've focused on growth and you've bootstrapped and have obviously had a lot of success. So can you share some insight as to when you think the time is right to raise money versus just focusing on growth?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great question, and still a question that I ask myself sometimes, like, should we be fundraising? Should we wait a bit more? What I can say is that if you're not an exited founder or someone that graduated from a top Ivy League and have the alumni network and all this kind of stuff, you're just a guy with an idea. It's going to be incredibly hard to fundraise. we had a previous company I didn't mention. It was not a tech company. It was my co-founder before, and we did kind of fundraise. I mean, it was not like a typical tech fundraising, but it takes so much time and energy to fundraise, and you don't really know where you're going. Like spending like 3-4 months of your life like working on like fundraising, and you're not sure you're gonna get it. It's and then the product is not moving forward. It's kind of a big investment. So really, I knew like right off the bat that I didn't want to fundraise. I wanted to give us as much traction as possible, and knowing that at one point I wanted to fundraise. What I did like to do is talking to investors for kind of the bigger picture. I love to do that. Just try to get on a call with investor and see what they think, because when you're like in the weeds of things and trying to fix bugs on your website and stuff like that, you're not thinking about the 1 billion market overall, and having those conversations really like kind of makes you zoom out and see the business as a whole. And I think that's very important to know where you're going. And this really helped me. It was first quarter of 2024. Yeah, but March, I started reaching out to some investor because I wasn't sure how to monetize this platform that we had. I know I was providing value to coaches and agents, but I didn't think the market was big enough. And having those conversations really helped me. So that's one thing I will advise to do. And now, of course, you're going to get a ton of rejections. I would probably advise not to spend too much time on fundraising. The most important is, again, if you're like graduate from UPenn and have a bunch of friends who can put 100K in your company, sure, go ahead and do that. It was not my case, and I'm sure a lot of people are not in this boat as well. So if you don't have this access to funding, yeah, you have to show traction. That's the only way, and prove your worth, right? So we kind of knew that, and that's why we decided to. I was also lucky to be in a position where I could work part-time on this project without without paying myself, and my co-founder as well. So that's something that not everyone can do. If you have a lifestyle where you need 150K per year to survive, and you quit your job to work on your company, I mean, you're not gonna have much runway. You're gonna need to fundraise very quickly. So that really depends of your personal situation as well. Now people that can survive on like not being paid much for a long time and bootstrap, I will definitely go this way instead of wasting time with talking with investors and for the fundraising purpose. Talking with investor for like knowing more about your industry, I think it's great, but spending all your time sending emails and trying to get money where you are not investable is definitely the wrong way to go.
Yeah, and there's so many different factors that go into making a company successful, and I think with your experience and the fact that you've been a part of startups in the past, I think bringing that experience to a new company definitely just makes everything else better in the long run. So, thanks so much for sharing, Stephen. Anything else you want to share today?
Yeah, I mean, you did mention that we have an engineer in our team. It's a great compliment for us. We don't. I'm a non-technical founder. I mean, I guess I'm kind of technical now because I did found ways to build this platform. So kind of wanted to share my 2 cents on like for non-technical founders out there, and whether or not they need to co-found with an engineer. Hiring an engineer either with money or with equity is going to be very expensive. I mean, an engineer can right now they either can go work for Comcast for 150K to 100K per year, or work for nothing for your company. So you're gonna have to give a lot of equity. I mean, if you have a friend that is an engineer and you have the same purpose and you think it's gonna be a great team, sure, I definitely co-found with an engineer will make everything easier. Now, if you're non-technical and you're like to learn stuff, I will definitely say go ahead and try to build MVP with no-code tools. Right now, there's so many options. There is ShareTribe, there is Bubble, and there's so many others that allow you to do that, even if you have very little coding experience, which was my case. No, I kind of like learn all those no-code tools and kind of yeah, learn how to code a little because of those. But you can definitely make an MVP like without an engineer. And if you're trying to prove traction at minimal cost without an engineer, definitely try to build anything with no code tools. And I think moving forward, we're gonna see much more entrepreneurs that don't have a tech background building stuff kind of out of nowhere. So I think it's great. Anyone with an idea can kind of build stuff. And something else I wanted to say, don't hire a dev agency to make your idea. I've seen so many that were doing that, and that's where companies go to die, in my opinion. I was lucky to be able to change our platform right away when we saw that something was not working. We built something, and anyone who builds anything, at the end of the day, it's the end product is going to be totally different than your first version. So being able to try stuff yourself and change stuff quickly is definitely something important. And having an agency who doesn't really know what's happening in your head and what's the end product should be looking like, making a product and then giving it to you, it's definitely not the way to go. I mean, half the time, 99% of the time, the first product is not going to work at all. Like, you're going to realize this is not what I'm building for. This service product doesn't work. I need to go another way. So yeah, try to be scrappy, do stuff yourself. If you can have an engineer as a co-founder, it's great. If not, you can definitely like find ways to build something small yourself. And this could be a landing page with a form to test whether or not people want to use what you want to build, and that could be done in like 5 minutes pretty much. And then once you validated that, you can go to the next step in building a sign up form with like one very simple one-page app, and then again see if like people are interested. Even if you get like crazy churn because people don't use it, then like I'm onto something. If no one cares, well, you should be doing building this for something else. So
Yeah, I think you hit a lot of important points. It's so important to stay lean, to stay nimble, and figure out quickly if your product and service isn't correct. So, Steven, thanks again for sharing all that. How can everybody within the sports business leaders community stay in touch with you?
You can reach out to me by email, steven@nextpeak.io, and or you can directly chat with us on our website. We'll answer.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to today's episode. Our next SBL event is going to be held on Wednesday, February 26th in Princeton, New Jersey. We hope to see you there, and thanks again for listening.